Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is October the 23rd, 2023, and today the topic is the beauty of suffering. Happy Monday, everyone. Happy Monday. I hope that you all had a wonderful weekend. Mine was a little bit more than fine, y'all. I had actually quite a few really cool, interesting things happen over the weekend. Those that follow me on social media, you may already know, but if I did a quick recap over my weekend, it went a little something like this. One, you guys know that I went to go do childcare at the church on Saturday morning because they had some type of business seminar teaching at the church, and it was like me and like three other ladies that was there doing childcare for those individuals attending that event, and it was interesting to say the least. I mean, observing kids and how they act with each other and things of that nature for a few hours and whatnot. You know, but hey, yeah, so all of that was cool. Um, One thing that I didn't expect, but that kind of led to another beautiful moment is that they didn't have breakfast. And see, Mount West is usually good for like providing breakfast for like everything. And they probably had something for the meeting, but I think they probably forgot about the childcare staff. And so, which is okay. It's whatever. I know the other ladies might have felt some way about it, but my thing is, if you ain't gonna tell the people, I mean, I don't know. So basically, because NJ was with me or whatever, I was like, well, we haven't ate all morning outside of he was eating snacks and stuff, but I was like, we didn't get breakfast or whatever because I was thinking that they would have something. So I was like, oh, I'll take the lunch. So I was telling him, as we were getting ready to go, I was like, got a surprise for you. I'm gonna, got a surprise. Long story short, basically, on the way or the route that I usually go to our church, there's this like German bakery tavern restaurant that we pass by, and it has like a big pretzel on it and whatnot. And so when he sees it, he's like, "Oh, I want to go to the place with the pretzel and stuff like that." And I'm saying, I keep telling him one day, one day. Well, Saturday was that day, y'all. I decided to go ahead and take him there for lunch on the way back home, and so he was surprised by it. It was a really cute moment. We go in, just me and him, and go to have lunch at this German restaurant slash bakery, right? Super cute. We sitting there, we place our orders, X, Y, and Z. Next thing we noticed, there was this older lady that was like handing out flowers, or putting out flowers on the tables, like flowers. And so here come NJ out of nowhere. Can I help you? And so she allows him to help her put flowers out on the tables around us. And so that was the first cute thing. So I'm like, here go this kid, right? Um, and then eventually, like, she was like, she would stop by the table and say, "Oh, he is just so great," and saying all these wonderful things about him. And I'm over here like, "Oh, I'm trying as a mama out here, X, Y, and Z." And then so we're having our lunch, whatever, and then she comes back to our table and gives us like this little vase of flowers. I wish I had it to show you guys, but if you follow me on social media, you might have already seen them. But I have them, but they're in the other room, so I forgot to bring them because I didn't know I was going to tell y'all all of this. But anyway, so she brings us this little vase of flowers, and she's like, tell him about this when he's 18. And I was like, yeah, and then she said the same thing that I have been saying over the past few days about, it's like, I hope that he stays this way, X, Y, and Z. And I was like, I was saying the same thing just a few days ago as I was praying over him and whatnot. Like, I hope that he stays this way, this helpful nature that he has and whatnot. And so that was a really cute moment. There was some other cute stuff that happened there in the restaurant as well. I enjoyed my shepherd's pie. NJ got this burger with the pretzel bun. It looked really good, but I know he only ate half of it, and so my husband was telling me, because he had took the other half or whatever, he's like, "Oh, that pretzel was really saucy." So I don't know. I mean, I didn't try the pretzel or whatever, but it looked good anyway. But yeah, that was a cute moment. And everything like that. And then afterwards, shout out to my homegirl London. I told y'all about that. She gave NJ a few dollars to go shopping with for his birthday. And so on the way back home after lunch, I took him to the store so he can get some cars and whatnot. And I filmed the whole thing, so you guys can stuff again on Actress Medical Sims YouTube tonight. Um, But so y'all could see the details. I don't have to go into all the details about that, but basically it was just funny that he went through, we spent like 11 minutes of him picking up random things and picking up things he wanted to get, and then he ended up leaving with like 2 big things that took him over budget. And I'm like, really I was trying to get him familiar with, you only have this much and this is how much this costs, trying to introduce him to that. And he did pretty good. He just was a few dollars over. So I was like, okay, mommy will throw you the extra dollars. But yeah, that was Saturday in a nutshell. Really, really cute moment with me and NJ. Then Sunday, y'all know I was working yesterday. Working slash serving, or however you want to look at it. And it was interesting. We were doing the movie The Star, because we're still in the movie series. I think we got like one more week left, since it's one more week in October. And we were talking about the movie The Star in the children's ministry. And my understanding is that the adults ministry was talking about Finding Nemo. I haven't been to service in the past couple of, as an adult sitting in the service. But being with those kids has definitely been like, just a really, really moving and touching experience, because I think I shared with you guys on Saturday, but just in case I didn't, one of the things that we've been incorporating is, time for prayer for the kids and whatnot. And it's just been very interesting, the things that they've been asking for prayer about. And what I noticed on yesterday is just about every service. Now, I told you guys in the past that I had been using NJ to, kind of break the ice with prayer, right? Like I would usually like call him up and he would come and pray with me, and then that would kind of encourage other kids. Well, I didn't have to do that at all yesterday. Like after I was announced, okay, like, hey, we're gonna do prayer now, X, Y, and Z. Next thing I know, a group of kids would come up to me. Like I want to say the first, at least the last 2 services, I had like a group of like probably 4 or 5 kids that came up to wanting to pray at the same time, like once I first started. And then after that, I would kind of go to one-on-one individually if they wanted it or whatever. I was trying to remind the other leaders in the room that, hey man, y'all need to do what y'all see me doing, because these kids, I mean, they were asking for prayer about nightmares. One little boy asked for prayer about I guess his dog doesn't like its cat. But my whole thing is, at least he's willing to accept prayer. You know what I mean? At least it put that seed in him to be like, I want to go to God about this problem. You know what I mean? So that's what I mean. Like it's just been on a whole nother level. And then even one of the kids, I had already prayed for her, and I was praying for some other kids, and she came back, and I was like, oh, you came back? And she's like, I would like to pray for you. And y'all know I cried. Y'all already know. But I mean, that's what I mean. So anyway, that's been a beautiful thing. And so that was something amazing happened yesterday. And then in the second service, now at the last meeting, the pastor was very adamant that he wanted us to be on stage with him at 10:50 for the service, yesterday's service. And so the staff members, right? And so none of us knew what was going on, but he had told us it was going to be prayer or something like that. So then, I'm thinking maybe he got an announcement of some sort. I don't know, So anyway, we all come out like at 10:45. I had set my little alarm, but we had all tried to get there on time and be on stage at the particular time he asked or whatnot. And so when we all came out on stage, the staff or whatever, he tells the audience, he's like, so this is the staff that's working behind the scenes to make things happen, X, Y, and Z. And, I told them we was going to pray, but really this is the moment to celebrate them. He's getting everybody clapping and all this stuff. And I'm like, I should have known, or I think I did know deep inside that something was up, but nobody knew exactly what it was. And I'm like, is he making an announcement? Like, what is he doing? And I know they gave everybody little envelopes, and inside was handwritten notes. And I mean, I say also, it's Abundance 2023. So the Lord is, listen, providing and provide a variety of ways. So shout out to that as well. But one thing I do, I brought it here to share with you guys, if you guys are interested. I mean, I did post it on my social media, but it just really means a lot. So I'm just going to share the note that he wrote to me. It says, Miracle, thank you for jumping on the team and fitting right in. Our kids are better because you are here. Today, we celebrate you and your ministry and the impact you are making, Pastor Mo. So thanks, Pan. Thank you, Pastor Mo, for, you know, taking the time out to show us all some love on the staff. And, you know, again, I had showed my husband what else came with my my note and whatnot, because I was like, husband, it's abundance 2023. Like, you know, I listen, it's something to it, y'all. Something to trust in the Lord, and something to, you know, allowing him to lead and guide your life, because things like this happens, you know what I mean? The unexpected blessings and things of that nature. But yeah, that truly meant a lot to receive that moment of gratitude yesterday. And yeah, and then after that, ended up taking NJ to lunch because long story short, I know y'all like, man, Miracle, you still on your weekend? Let me just wrap it up. I'm gonna wrap it up. So basically, I had volunteered pretty much to be part of the Christmas production that they're doing with the kids. And so turns out the meeting that we were doing was going to be at 3. So there was some time between when we got done with church and when the production rehearsal or whatever is going to, or meet and greet pretty much was going to start. And so I took NJ to lunch. We met this father and son. We went to McDonald's, whatever. And because I like to go there because there's this indoor play area and it's, you know, easy to just let NJ play. But anywho, so there was actually kids there and whatnot. So he got a chance to play. I ended up talking to one of the dads that was right next to me, and NJ was playing with his son, X, Y, and Z. So we had a good conversation as well. Invited him to the church for next week because it's Super Sweet Sunday next week and whatnot as well. But anyway, I say all of that to say I went back and to the church and then helped out with the Christmas production, and so getting some things ready in place for that. And I NJ auditioned as well, so technically I guess that was his first audition, I think. He was kind of auditioning for different parts or whatever. Um so yeah, man, that's what yesterday in a nutshell and whatnot. That was my weekend in a nutshell. I might go deeper, or I'll share things with you guys behind the scenes or whatever if there's anything else to share about the weekend. But yeah, that's what was going on with me. So anyway, I share this to say, I don't because I feel like it segues well into this conversation as well. So was it late last night? I think it might have been late last night. In spite of all these wonderful things I just told y'all about, my, you know, my son, my husband, the work, you know, my work life, everything is looking so beautiful right now, right? But would you believe there was a moment of sadness? At some point, I just took some time to kind of reflect on some of the things that aren't where I want them to be, or aren't as I would hope them to, or and things of that nature. And you know, I noticed that I haven't been trying to dwell on it as much as I used to. You know, I guess I took some time to acknowledge it a little bit yesterday, and I was like reading some things that I had wrote like years ago, and it made me kind of sad to think like, man, I still kind of feel this same way to a certain extent. And on one hand, I'm like, well, God must have a purpose for things to be going the way that they're going, you know. But on the flip side, I'm like, you know, who am I to sit here and complain about some, well, I don't know if it's little to me. That's the other thing as well. Like, these are, I guess, huge things to me. But at the same time, I mean, in the midst of all these blessings, in the midst of abundance 2023, in the midst of all these beautiful things that God is doing in my life, like, it seems very like petty or trivial or whatever word that you could think of to mean small, to sit here and take like the couple of thorns, right, and be like, and make them mountains into my life, you know. At the end of the day, it's like, I mean, no, my life isn't perfect, right? No, I'm not perfect. My marriage isn't perfect. My husband's not perfect. My kid ain't perfect. Like, nothing's perfect. You know what I'm saying? And so I guess I was taking a little bit of time to think about that last night. And to try not to, again, like dwell on it so much to the point where I'm like really, really experiencing the heartbreak that I've felt in the past and things of that nature. But just still acknowledging that, you know, there's work to be done, and you know, and I guess seeking the Lord of like, well, what's the purpose, or what's the overall, what's the beauty of this suffering, quote unquote, right? And I know that I'm not the only one that's gone through suffering. I'm sure people again are going through worse things than my things, you know. Now that doesn't make light of my own sufferings and whatnot, because we all go through. things that means something to us, so I'm not trying to belittle my own, you know, uh experience, and I hope to not belittle anybody else's experience, because at the end of the day, again, the things that are important to you are important to you, and it's something that matters as well. So without going deep into, because I've talked about a lot of my stuff over the years, so y'all could probably put two and two together of like different stuff I could be talking about. But regardless of like the details of the personal thing, I thought it was very interesting this morning to kind of reflect on just suffering and this idea of it, and like, is there beauty in it, and is there reason and purpose for it, and things of that nature. I mean, like I said, it did make me sad to think that, man, am I in the same place I was in the cultivation period? Have I grown at all? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I definitely feel a change in my life, but at the same time, I'm like, am I still that single horny girl? All those different things, cross my mind, or, the enemy try to throw in any kind of little ideas like that to get us off track and stuff. So again, I guess I'm being open and honest parent about these things, because again, I know that other people are going through, again, possibly worse things than me, or not, or whatever the case is, but you are experiencing some type of suffering in your life, because we're all in this fallen world. So I mean, I'm sure we're experiencing it to some level. So anyway, I guess I was reminded, or I felt led to go deeper about this morning, because I came across or the prayer meditation that I listened to this morning with the Soul Space app. This is what it said. This was the title of it. It says, even in suffering, his grace is at work. Even in suffering, his grace is at work. That already spoke volumes to me this morning when I saw it, because I was like, you know what? That's true. We may not see it when we're going through it. We may not fully understand it and everything like that. To me, like, for example, when I think about the things that I'm quote unquote missing, or things of that nature, I'm like, to me, it seems simple. I feel like the fixes are very simple. Like, if you, or if someone would just do this or that, then we'd be fine, or whatever. Like, we can always point the finger and think like, if that person just do this or that, or if this, we can always do that. But honestly, I think what is what I'm receiving over the years of my situation, as well as just, I guess, in life, is that a lot of times it's us, right? It's me personally. I can look at my husband all day and be like, if he just did this or that, or my kid, or my family, or whatever, like, yeah, we can always do that, and say, and it could be simple as that as well. But at the end of the day, I do understand that there's bigger things at play. I understand bigger issues. I understand that everybody is going through their own life journey. And so, yeah, the things that are bothering me, who's to say, again, my husband, with the pressure of being a man, and the man of this household, things like that, he has way more, issues and whatnot. Some I might know, some I might not know, and things of that nature. And so, who am I to look at him to say, if he only just did this, then it would solve my problem, or whatever the case is. So I can think my mind has been shifting in regards to this stuff. I think, again, when I read the things that I wrote years ago, I was kind of looking at it like that. Like, it's so simple. Why don't he just do this? Why don't he just do that? Like, why don't my son, or, whatever, like, couldn't I have just been like this, or life couldn't have just been like that, or whatever. And we can always, again, look at it as this easy thing. But again, there's a bigger picture at play. Like, one of the things that I was thinking this morning as I was reflecting on all of this, and I know I haven't really got into verses yet or anything, but I'm just being honest, man. I hope these testimonies are helping. But anyway, basically, one of the things that came into my heart and mind this morning, as I was thinking about all of this, is just would I be sitting here talking to you all today about suffering if I wasn't going through the things I'm going through? If I wasn't missing the things that I'm missing, if I wasn't, if my life hadn't been, quote unquote, lacking in whatever areas that they're lacking in, like, would I be here today even talking to y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, again, everything happens for a reason. And I don't know who all this reaches. I don't know, who you are listening to the sound of my voice today. I don't know if this is resonating with you right now. If this is speaking into your life and your exact situation. But all I know is that, God is in control, and he knows all. And so he knows those details. I'm not that smart to know what's going on in everybody else's life. I'm just was felt led to talk about this idea of suffering today. And if anyone is suffering, which I believe all of us at least have felt it at some point, then I hope that these things encourage you and inspire you. One, to know that you're not alone, because again, that was one of the main things back in the day that I had to really, really understand, that I'm not alone. Because sometimes, again, I feel like that's why the enemy secludes us and makes us, or keeps us isolated sometimes, till then we feel like we're the only one. I'm the only one going through this, or whatever the case may be. And that's not true. I mean, someone else is going through either, again, what you're going through, or worse than what you're going through. So you're not the only one suffering to some capacity in life. And then you're not the only one suffering with whatever you're suffering with as well. Because that was an interesting thing too. Like when I got up this morning, the exact situation, the exact situation that I'm going through was mentioned online in one of the posts that I saw. And I just was like, you know what? Again, I mean, well, hey, one, nice reminder to know I'm not alone. Two, again, how are we going to handle the situations? Are we going to, again, stay in those places and break down from the inside out and all this different type of stuff? Or are we going to give those things to the Lord and, endure and run the race and choose alternative ways to handle it, pray, all these different type of things. So, all right, let's get into some Bible. Let's get into some reference material and things of that nature, because I might be enough testimony this morning. So let's get into this. When I looked up the definition of suffering, it says the state of undergoing pain, distress, or hardship. I was about to say, am I going through pain? But I guess pain can be experienced in a variety of ways. Like maybe it's physical, actual ouch pain, but then it could be that I think I experience a lot of like either mental or that heartache, internal type of pain, which again we can't make light of, because at the end of the day, again, sometimes they say words can cut worse than a knife times, or things like that. And so, again, I'm sure everybody has experienced either pain, distress, or hardship to some degree. So yeah. And now here's something, and I don't know if this is start to be encouraging or whatever, but one of the things this morning is the song "Hope Has a Name" by Passion Conference just kept ringing in my mind this morning. So there is hope, y'all, and everything like that. Now it could be because of the Christmas production, because it is one of the songs of the Christmas production. But at the same time, again, as I was reflecting on this idea of suffering, it has been going on, and I did take some time to look at the lyrics. So I put that as a part of the Go Deeper section. Hopefully that will encourage you and inspire you. You guys also go to godquestions.org, because that has a article that's all about suffering, and it says, what does the Bible say about suffering? And as I was reading it, it really resonated. I just was like, obviously it reminded me of endurance. It reminded me of different individuals that the Bible directly addresses suffering, through Job, through Joseph, through David, and of course through Jesus. And so again, I know I've said this before, but again, I think we need to be reminded, like, who are we to think that we aren't going to suffer to some capacity when Christ had to suffer in all the ways that he did? God himself suffered for us, and he did. Technically, I saw a post this morning that said he didn't want to, right? Because if you remember, he in the garden, he said, hey, if you could take this cup from me, by all means. But at the end of the day, he said, but Lord, your will be done, not mine. So technically, he didn't want to go through that pain. I don't think anybody would. If we had a choice, if it was put in front of us, like, hey, do you want to die a peaceful death, or do you want to get beaten and have to carry a cross and do all the things that Jesus did? I'm pretty sure we are. Let me take that peaceful death for 100. I just, so and that's just the physical pain. Let's not even talk about the mental and all the rest of that stuff, the disrespect, the spitting, all of that. Like, I mean, we can't even take somebody calling us out our name or anything like that, looking at us wrong. Like, I mean, imagine going through all of that as the one who made everything. and your own creation is literally beating you and all kinds of other things. Like, I don't know. Like, that's what the Bible talks about, y'all. And I don't think anybody or any of us will really truly understand that to that magnitude of suffering. So yeah, I mean, go look at any of those accounts if you're suffering in any capacity. Check out Job, check out Joseph, check out David, check out Jesus, obviously, and see if those things can help you put some things into perspective. One, to see that, hey, you're in good company, friend. At the end of the day, those that were suffering, they all came, and had beautiful endings and whatnot. So that's one thing to be encouraged and inspired by. And the other thing that was standing out to me as I was reading that article is realizing that, the Bible is showing us how to handle the situations, and that is more so to put our faith and trust in the Lord and endure, rather than, again, allow those things to, I guess, take us to that dark, low place, because we do have hope. Hope does have a name, and so we don't have to act like we don't have the hope, because what Christ did, one, is for everybody, but then it's, from what I'm understanding, what the Bible is telling us, it is, again, I got it. I don't know. I keep being led to say it for everybody again. Everybody. I don't know. Can y'all get that? Okay. I said it a couple times now, Lord. But yeah, it's for everybody. And then I guess he just want me to say that. There was something else that came in my mind, but it didn't went away. So let's just double down on to everybody, y'all. So yes, let's get to some verses, y'all, because y'all think I'm just talking out here. So let's get to some verses. 1 Peter 5:10, it says, "And after you have suffered a little while, the God of all grace, who has called you to his eternal glory in Christ, will himself restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish you." I mean, listen, again, the suffering, it comes with reward. At the end of the day, it says he himself will restore, confirm, strengthen, and establish you. Even and like I said, I took some time to read things I wrote from years ago. I took some time to acknowledge the fact that, yeah, there are some things that has not changed, and there's some things that feel like they're the same, and it hurts. It made me sad. I shed a tear, things of that nature. But I will say the difference between now and years ago is me. My heart and mind has shifted, and I feel it. Like, I'm not dwelling on it. You know what I mean? I'm not too much worried about it. I'm not over here, like, again, picking everything apart and saying and blaming someone else or doing those things. I'm more so seeking the Lord about his wisdom and the beauty of the suffering. Again, would I be sitting here today talking about this if I wasn't going through what I'm going through? Right? Would I be talking to y'all at all if I had the quote unquote perfect marriage and perfect everything? Like, maybe I would just be so engulfed in those things that I would never even take no time to do the juice. You know what I mean? Never take no time to, spend time with God or get a deeper understanding of, not only suffering, but like the purpose and plan and all these different things that are happening in my life and things of that nature. And so, again, there's reasons for everything. I mean, the ultimate reason for suffering, you guys can go deeper about all of this and whatever, but just a reminder here, again, we're all in a fallen world. So there's going to be suffering here on earth, the way that things are, because obviously the fall and everything like that. Y'all can go deeper. I'm just telling y'all what the Bible's talking about, right? So that's the ultimate reasons why they're suffering. And I think one of the things that kind of came back to my heart and mind as well is learning. I can't remember where I learned it from, but basically, it was pretty much talking about the fact that, how can I say it, Lord? Like, the suffering, again, is not only just a result of the fall and whatnot, but I guess, anyway, sorry, I went away. I'll tell you if it comes back. But yeah, friends, I mean, let's just stay there. Understanding that, again, the fall is the reason for the suffering. And yeah, so let me keep going with some verses. Let me keep going with another verse. So we got Romans 3:18. It says, "For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worth comparing with the glory that is to be revealed to us." I mean, there you go, friends. Again, like I said, I mean, how would I sit here and be able to share with you guys today that, hey, y'all, there's beauty in the suffering, and hey, y'all, at the end of the day, again, if you look at all the accounts of those that suffered, that were in, the will of God and things of that nature. They all came out on top in the end and all this different type of stuff. So it's saying here that the suffering for the present time is not worth comparing to the glory. So I hope that encourages you and inspires you, y'all, again, because it can, again, I know that when we go through, it can feel like the lowest thing. It can feel like the worst and lowest things possible. And you're like, why do I have to go through this? Oh, that's what it was, Lord. Thank you. Basically, why does this keep happening? Why does this keep happening? Let me look at it again. Hold on. Consider that the suffering of this present time are not worth comparing to the glory that to be revealed to us. Wow. Next time, I won't pause. I'll just say it when it comes. All right. But anyway, Psalm 34:19. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. Friends, do you guys believe that God's going to deliver you from your sufferings, from the things that you, again, are holding and feeling like, man, this is the worst thing possible? Like, do you truly believe that God will deliver you from these things? I guess that's the question today. Again, I told you guys we're in good company. 2 Timothy 3:12, it says, indeed, all who desire to live a godly life in Jesus Christ will be persecuted. It doesn't say, well, you might be. No, it says you will. So at the end of the day, I mean, again, because of this fallen state of the world and because of us choosing to believe in Christ and things of that nature, you're going to experience some type of suffering. Sometimes it feels like the reason why we don't understand suffering or things of that nature is probably because we weren't necessarily created to experience it. It wasn't something that God created for us to experience. It came with the fall. It came with our disobedience. It came with as a consequence to again the choices and whatnot that we made and things like that. And so and I know that was Adam, right? Adam and Eve, right? Y'all like, well, that was them. I would have did. No, you would have did the same thing. That's the point. We all would have did it. So yeah. Yeah, that was that thing that kept coming back and forth in my head. Again, being reminded that like the suffering wasn't what we was really supposed to experience. Like we were supposed to experience, again, life, eternal life, and things of that nature. And so deaths and all these, again, suffering and things like that. Yeah, there are consequences. Yeah, there, y'all got to go deeper about that study, but I've learned that along the way. So hopefully that helps you to get at least some perspective on these things. Let's see. I think I got one more verse, y'all. It's 2 Corinthians 4:17. It says, for this wait, for this light moment. Okay, I got it. Thank you, Lord. For this light momentary affliction is preparing for us an eternal weight of glory beyond all comparison. So again, y'all, listen, when we keep comparing the suffering that we experience to I guess nothing. We think like, oh, this is it, and we only think about this life and stuff like that. But this is the second verse here that says there's no comparison of the glory to the suffering. And I mean, I guess ultimately this is the juice this morning. You guys can go deeper. There's plenty of verses talking about suffering. At some point, I just stopped writing them down and just put in the go deeper section. Hey, go to OpenBible.info and plug in the word suffering and see what stands out to you and what the Lord wants you to know about those things in particular. But there's plenty of verses in the Go Deeper section for you guys to peruse and let marinate on your hearts, souls, and minds. I hope that you are encouraged and inspired to see the beauty in the suffering, because that is the juice. Now, The Bible verse of today is Matthew 6:10. It says, "Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. There you go. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble. Anybody listening to the sound of my voice, I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. Thank you so much for listening, watching, subscribing, and sharing all those wonderful things. Yeah, man, if you're going through any type of suffering, look, I see you. I feel you. I'm here with you. I'm suffering in my own ways. But at the end of the day, again, God can give you peace in the suffering. He can give you joy in the midst of the suffering. There can be a variety of blessings in the midst of your suffering. So, yeah, just continue to lean and depend on him throughout the suffering, and then you'll see the rewards, right? You'll see the fruit. You'll see the glory in action in your life. And yeah, like I said, that's the juice. I know I done went on and on about it, so hopefully you done received something today by listening to your girl. I don't know if there's anything else I'm supposed to share with y'all. Like I said, I went over my weekend. Like I said, the weekend was beautiful. And everything like that. Y'all, let's keep my husband in prayer. You know, like I said, he's in the midst of transitions, and you know, and I really want to see him, you know, walking in his purpose and things like that. Can I be honest with y'all? I don't know. Well, okay. Well, if you really watched to this point, then hey, I guess maybe this is for you. It's just on capacity. Basically, one of the things that I've noticed, and I told some ladies this a few weeks ago, is that, like, y'all see fruit, right, from the things that I'm sharing with you guys in regards to what's happened in my life. I share my testimony all the time, and I know it might sound crazy to those that are either unbelievers or maybe struggling with the stuff I'm talking about or whatever. And I'm sitting here telling y'all stuff like, oh, trust the Lord, and oh, just give it to him, and that stuff might sound crazy because you're like, well, what's practical about that, and how is that tangible to me in my life, X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, well, hey, I'm a human being, you know, and I'm just telling y'all what has happened. The more I stop trying to control my own life, and the more I started to lean and depend on the Lord more, and the more I just lay stuff at God's feet, the more y'all see these fruits flourishing. Again, I showed you guys my website last time I talked to you. I want to say it was probably Saturday. I was like, if y'all just go to actionsmiraclesims.com. You ain't got to buy nothing. You ain't got to do nothing. If you are struggling in any capacity, if you are struggling with your faith, if you're struggling with any of these concepts that I've been sharing with you guys, I want y'all to go to actionsmiraclesims.com. And I want y'all to just think about one thing. In 2019, the only business endeavors, or the only endeavors I had established, was my business Miracle Plays and Miracle of Wine. 2 things. I was trying to figure out, okay, I just became a new mom. I like the idea of working from home, but I was like, I don't know what I could possibly do. And then next thing I know, the pandemic hit. I was starting to focus on Miracle Plays. I was like, let me just focus on my business, you know, get that up and running. And then, you know, maybe that'll supplement things. Thinking that was going to be the thing that helped get to the next level, whatever the case may be. And then next thing I know, the pandemic hit, and literally I couldn't even work my business no more. So I only had one thing at that point, and that was Miracle of Wine. And so I just got online and started telling people, hey, I'll do virtual tastings, because that was the only thing I could literally do at that time. If you go to actionsmiraclesims.com, you'll see so many endeavors established. So that means between 2019 and 2023, look at what the Lord did in regards to growth, endeavors, and things that have been on my heart and mind. And GSL is a huge example as well. This is a huge, honestly, that was, like they say, the first domino that fell, me being obedient and telling the Lord, okay, I'll get up and do daily inspiration. Next thing I know, everything else that I dreamed about over the years started to happen. Books, movie, shoe, like all the stuff you guys see. And like I said, you ain't got to buy nothing. If you just need some encouragement. At the end of the day, it's, to me, I hope that it shows you what it pays to trust the Lord. It sounds crazy, but that's all I'm doing. And I'm just one little human. You know what I'm saying? I'm not seeing, I've been sharing with you guys in detail for the most part, like what life has been like. Y'all know I just started working with the church this year. You know, like, I mean, and it's part-time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the Lord is still providing for me and my family. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, so I say all that to say, like, what the thing I was kind of debating about, should I tell y'all? Well, how about this? I won't even call out nobody in particular, because this has happened a few times. So I'm not gonna call out nobody in particular, but I'll say the interesting thing is, as I share this, I hope that you're encouraged and inspired to do the things that I'm sharing with y'all. Not just hear me talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, but actually test God and see for yourself, what he do in your life. Okay, Lord, let me trust you with my finances then. Let me see what you're gonna do. Okay, Lord, let me trust you with it. Like, that's literally what I've been doing. And I know it sounds crazy, but I'm like, for those that are surrounding me, I just don't understand. Like, I get it. Everybody will do things their own way, and that's cool. Like, you know what I mean? Hey, everybody's on their own journey, on their own path. But I'm like, if you see anything in me that you desire, I'm telling you what I'm doing. I ain't even selling no course. You know what I'm saying? I ain't charging you to tell you, hey, I'm just putting my favorite trust in the Lord. And y'all see the fruit. So y'all can take it or leave it. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people that I've been telling these things to, I feel like they leaving it, and I don't understand. Because I'm like, look, I tried it my own way. I did for years. And I did not have the joy, peace, hope, and all the rest of the stuff that I have now in the midst of it. So if you want joy, love, peace, hope in the midst of your trials and tribulations, then try Jesus. Nah, that's it. I'm about to go. Y'all have a great, great day. I look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow, if Lord's will. Bye.